Richard Crouse.
Well, Ronnie was so significant for a lot of people, but for you, like Ronnie was someone who's been a constant throughout your career as well. I mean, we talk about how he promoted you in the early days, but also you were in Heaven's Gate together, which I really want to talk about a bit later on. And you know, when he was ill a few years ago, you flew up here to perhaps see him. I mean, you've remained very good friends over a very long time.
Yeah. Well, he's easy to like.
Yeah.
He's got a great heart, and he's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
He used to when I first met him, he had a Rolls Royce, and he had a hit song called 40 Days back in the day, and he rolled the window down and he leaned clean out of the car and he's singing to some girl on the sidewalk. He says, 40 days! And then he says, it's not working anymore. He said, would you sing Bob McGee?
Well, there's the story about how he bought that Rolls Royce, because he bought that in Toronto, and he went in with a brown paper bag full of money.
Yeah, right? That's what I heard.
And he was wearing jeans and a T-shirt, and he goes to the Rolls Royce dealership, and he says, I'd like to look at that one, and nobody would wait on him because he just looked like a dirty hippie or something. And so he went in to the manager's office, and he said, I want that Rolls Royce, dumps out a bunch of money on the counter, and says, how much would his commission have been? And he said, it would have been $4,000. So Ronnie takes $4,000 back, says, there, the rest of it's yours. And walks out, shoves it in his pocket and walks out. And what I heard, for years afterwards, Ronnie used to he'd give homeless people, this is such an awful story, he'd give homeless people like $100 and send them into the Rolls Royce dealership to waste the salesman's time.
Well, Ronnie was consistent. When he was in Heaven's Gate, he got blown off a horse that he was completely raw from his knees to his hips, I was told, from riding a horse 14 hours a day. And he'd not done that before. But he got blown off they had these dynamite things set up that are supposed to be, I guess, what the Army was shooting at us.
Yeah. Cannons or something.
And it blew up right underneath his horse, which they had to put away later. But Ronnie flew off, and he's not a small man. He landed, whap, on the ground, and somebody says, my God, get the medics, get some water. He said, water, hell, bring me some Harriet. I knew he was okay.
At that point, Ronnie's
bring me some Harriet.
Well, now, Heaven's Gate is such an interesting movie for me because, again, like Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, the uncut version of it is awesome. But it was taken away from Michael Cimino because he went over budget and it was way too long, and the studio decided to drastically cut it down. And it's become one of those movies that people refer to as one of the things that sort of helped bring down the studio system and cause all sorts of problems. But it's a good movie. And I think it's kind of interesting when you look at the cast of that movie. There's you and Jeff Bridges. And tell me just a little bit about your thoughts, because there was a rumor, an idea that Alexander Haig had something to do with the failure of Heaven's Gate.
Well, I was told he was the Attorney General at the time, but they said that he had a meeting with all the studio heads in L.A. and said there'll be no more films made that portray a negative view of American history. And I was just thinking while you were talking of how he would be so happy today. There are so many right-wing assholes.
Oh, you can say it. You don't have to.
They'll probably be looking for us, right? But seriously, though, somebody like Barack Obama has a real a real tough road ahead of him because there are so many right-wing idiots there.
Richard Crouse.